Thanks for joining this webinar. This is brought to you by IEEE Computer Society, Bangalore chapter. Myself, Vishwas, and Secretary Anand will take you through this webinar in the next 1.5 hours. And this is part of the Celebrating Computing webinar series for 2020. We have had 3 webinars from prominent speakers in the month of May. And this is the fourth one, first one in the month of June. This will be an introduction to LaTeX by Udayashree Goyantala. She works at CDOT as a senior research engineer. She holds a master's in computer science and engineering from IIT Madras. She has more than 10 years experience, and her areas of work and interest include 4G, 5G, IoT, and other emerging networks. She also holds a patent, a US patent in these fields. And she's also a member of the Exicom of the IEEE Computer Society Bangalore chapter. And she will be taking us through the LaTeX, introduction to LaTeX basically, which is prominently used in academia. It's basically not stylized as we do in Microsoft Word or other formats, but it's more of a coding or what do you say, HTML text that you would enter in such format. So it's easier to collaborate and do it in a more programmatical way that we are used to. So it's more interesting, especially when some writing research papers or books and journal papers which run into multiple pages, right? So it's also useful, when somebody wants to collaborate. So Udaya will take you through all the details in the next 1 hour. Um, so we have the pleasure of bringing you this webinar as we do almost every Friday for the next couple of months. We have interesting webinars lined up, so please stay tuned and do follow us on our website or email, Instagram or Twitter, and we're also available on Facebook and LinkedIn. Do follow us on these social media channels, and we'll be very happy to bring you all the updates going forward. Thanking you, and I hand over the floor to Udayashree now. So Udayashree, please go ahead.
Yeah, before we begin, all participants kindly mute yourselves and turn off your video. Uh, uh, c- so I can see that Prahlad was saying that audio is a problem. Is it still a problem? So we are able to. Okay, thank you. Thank you for confirming that. So kindly mute yourselves and switch off your video. Please post your questions in the chat window. They'll be answered by the speaker towards the end of the session. Thank you. Over to you, Deshri.
Thank you, Anand. Good evening, everyone. Welcome you all to the Celebrating Computing. Intention of today's webinar is to introduce the viewers to a very useful documentation tool, LaTeX. By the end of the session, we hope everyone attending this webinar will be able to write a document using LaTeX. Someone who is already working with LaTeX, this session can will be the flow of the session where we shall know more about LaTeX, discuss how to start and write a document using LaTeX, formatting a LaTeX document, adding tables, figures, cross references, header and footer. We shall also see how to add mathematical expressions and bibliography into LaTeX document and then see various types of files in LaTeX software. LaTeX, which is spelled as LATEX, is pronounced as LaTeX or LaTeX, is written by Leslie Lamport and is basically a document preparation system which results in high quality professional layout documents. Basically, LaTeX is used to write technical scientific documents, but can be used to write any type of document, right from a single page document to thousands of pages of technical papers or books. LaTeX can also be used to prepare presentations. If you see, this PPT is made using LaTeX. Hope viewers are able to find the difference in typical PowerPoint slides and this PPT made using LaTeX. We can plan a separate session for making presentation using LaTeX if time permits. But in this session, we shall mainly concentrate on documentation part. LaTeX is an extension of typesetting engine tech, which is basically a markup language like HTML or XML. Though tech was written around in 1977 by Donald Knuth, it is still run to be extremely stable and which can work on various computers and softwares even today. Tech is considered as a bug-free software. Reading or knowing all about LaTeX, one might think, why LaTeX? Why not simply use a word processor like MS Word, which uses what you see is what you get approach? When you start writing a document using Word, you know this is how your document looks finally. This is what we mean, what you see is what you get. But when you write a document in LaTeX, you might not know how it looks finally. You may have to compile it and generate a PDF to view your document. So when you are writing, you are literally, you don't know how your document will finally look like. So the question is, why LaTeX? Though you see MS Office more pleasing and stylized for small documents, when its size keeps increasing, you might find it difficult to maintain uniformity across the document. It is basically the author who formats the documents apart from writing the contents. As the size of the document keeps growing, you might not remember the formatting done in the beginning of the document, and sometimes the formatting done may not remain same when you open it in some other systems or with a different version of Office. The basic idea behind LaTeX is leave document design to document designer and let authors get on to writing documents. Document design here is none other than LaTeX software. Author has to just concentrate on writing the contents of the document and only give few commands which tell LaTeX how to design the document. These are few features of LaTeX which makes it popular among technical writers. Has rich set of built-in commands which you can typeset journals, articles, technical reports, books, and presentations. LaTeX gives good control over large documents containing sections, cross-references, tables, and figures. Typesetting complex mathematical formulas is pretty easy using LaTeX. LaTeX supports automatic generation of bibliography references. It has multilingual support. Many Indian languages like Hindi, Sanskrit, Kannada, Tamil, Telugu, etc. can be supported using LaTeX. LaTeX source file is independent of operating system. Source file written in one OS can easily be compiled and ported onto operating systems with any dependencies. The most important of all is LaTeX is an open source. Advantage only needs to learn easy commands that specify the logical structure of the document. User almost never needs to tinker with the actual layout of the document. LaTeX provides free add-on packages for every additional feature supported apart from the basics. For example, packages are included for including graphics, setting bibliography, or changing different styles, etc. If you are comfortable with LaTeX, you can even create your own customized packages. Starting with a simple LaTeX document, you can see few lines of code here which gives you simple document like this. The first line says type of the document, which is of type article here. We mention the title, author, and date. We start the document using begin document and write a simple command make title to tell LaTeX to generate the title of the document. Write the contents of document and then say end of the document. You see a simple document getting generated like this. Any LaTeX file has got three parts: document class, preamble, and main body. Document class, which is first line of any document, LaTeX document, specifies the type of the document you are writing. Second part is preamble, where all the list of packages to be used is mentioned. And then you start the main body of the document. All the document contents and references come under the main body of the document. Moving deeper into each part of the document, starting with document class, as already said, it is first line of a LaTeX document and specifies the type of the document that we are planning to write. The syntax is backslash document class. You can mention few options which are optional. Class class which says what type of document we are writing, and it is a mandatory parameter. You can give various options like font size, paper format, draft mode. Usually when your document has large number of figures, it might take more time to compile and display the document output. So when writing the document for minor corrections or faster compilation, you can use draft mode. You can choose one column or two column. Usually IEEE papers will be two column. And you can set style of mathematical expressions, landscape, print mode, single sided or double sided document. You can also specify if you need a separate title page or no title page, open your chapter and open write or open any. These are optional parameters which override the default parameters for each type of document class. This document class, as I already said, is a mandatory parameter which specifies the type of document we are writing. All formatting options depend on the type of document you are selecting. If you select article, it has some set of default parameters and those get reflected in your document. You can write a report, proceeding, minimal. You can write a book. You can write slides. You can make Beamer like for making presentations, etc. This slide gives you few default options for different type of document class. If you see here for book, you have chapter start page as always open right. But for report, it is open any. These are the default parameters. You can always override these parameters.
Are you there?
Oh, what happened?
Okay, no, I think we lost you in between.
Oh, now is it okay? Are
Yeah,
you
now it is visible. Yeah.
so? Is everybody clear till the default formatting?
Yep.
Okay, coming to the preamble portion of the document. Everything between document class and begin document is called preamble. This portion of the document is used mainly for customizing or formatting the document. You add packages using use package command. You give backslash use package and the name of the package. Few examples are PDF text, graphics, and fancy header. Everything between begin document and end document becomes part of the document and displayed as the output in the PDF. In LaTeX, we have a concept called environment. Everything between begin tag and end tag is called an environment. Full LaTeX document is written between begin document and end document environment. And you have sub environments like begin figure and table environments. And these environments can also be nested. Now we know how to write a simple document in LaTeX. Let us look at different formatting options like adding title, table of contents to the document. Make title command will add title to the document using details mentioned in preamble like author, title, date, etc. Table of contents command will generate table of contents and add the table of contents to the document. List of tables command will add list of tables and list of figures will add list of figures to the document. These few commands added in the beginning of the document make you first few pages of your LaTeX document. Now coming to the contents of the document, usually all the technical multiple sections, subsections, etc. To add a section in LaTeX, we use slash select section command with the section name. This section name is displayed on the document with numbering. Sim- all these sections are numbered and become part of the table of contents. Similarly, you can add subsections, subsections, paragraphs, appendix, and chapters. Usually, paragraphs are not numbered, rest all are numbered. When your document or thesis is big, you can divide it into chapters and include multiple files in the main file using input file slash input chapter.txt. This facility also gives work sharing feasibility in LaTeX. If multiple people are writing same document, you can share chapters among yourself and just include them in your document, which makes your job easy. When we write a document or thesis, we usually write using points, either bullets or numbers. We write bulleted points, we use itemized environment. Each point is wrapped in an item. The output of this would be like this, bulleted points. Each of your item will be a point here. To write enumerated points, we use enumerate environment. The output would be numbered points like this. You can even use nested structures where one environment is included in another environment where you have bulleted points and numbered points nested here. You can play around with the text by keeping it center, flush left, flush right. Alignment is applied only to the text which is written between these environments, begin and end tags. You can add a new line using double slash or else slash new line command. You can add a new page. All the contents after this command will be moved to the new page forcefully. You can make the font of the text bold by using textbf or slash bf. All the text within the curly braces will be made to bold. You can make it italic, you can underline, you can change the font of the text. You can even set small caps. Usually small caps is used for headings. So you can set it using slash sc command. You can set various fonts based on the requirement like tiny, small, large, huge, etc. Spaces. Usually in LaTeX, several consecutive white spaces are treated as a single space. You see the example here. You have multiple spaces between the word several and spaces in the LaTeX file. But when you see the output file, there is a single space here between several and spaces. This says LaTeX doesn't considers multiple white spaces as a single white space. It is same even between for the space between the lines. Even though you leave multiple lines, it is treated as a single line. And an empty line between two lines is treated as an end of paragraph, and it reads like you have end one paragraph and started a new paragraph. In some cases, we might explicitly need to add some extra spaces. In that case, we use slash h space command. H space, and you mention the amount of space you want between the two words. This results in the explicit space between two words in the output document. You can also use hfill to flush the two texts to the left or right. I mean, the space between the two words is completely filled with the space. You can also use slash hrule fill or dot fill to fill the space with dotted lines or the solid lines. Similarly, like horizontal spaces, even vertical spaces, you need to explicitly mention them using vspace command or vfill command. Only in that case the output will show some text. You see, the text here is just pushed to the bottom of the page. This is all the vertical space explicitly given in the code. Like any other language, LaTeX also uses some special characters in its coding. Like we have been seeing, backslash is used for commands, and you see percentage is used for comments. You can't print these special characters directly. The table shows you how to print these special characters. If you have to print a dollar, you have to put backslash dollar, a percentile symbol, backslash symbol. This is how you print the special characters in LaTeX. Percentage is used for a single line comment, and you can use comment environment or of verbatim package. Like you say begin comment and end comment. All the text between this environment is not shown in the output document. Till now we have seen how to write a simple LaTeX document, how to format or play around with the text in the document. So coming to the objects in LaTeX, where are used to contain things that must be placed in a single page and cannot be split across multiple pages. For example, a figure. Usually, a figure can be placed only in a single page. If you have enough space in the current page, place it, else, move it to the new page. All these objects keep floating across the document based on the availability of the space. Hence, they are called floats. Figures and tables are the example of floating objects. We can specify the position of the floats, like place them on the top of the page, bottom, or place it here, right here, wherever the code is written. All the floating objects can have a caption and are numbered. These numbers are used for referencing these objects and also generating list of figures and list of tables. First, let us see how to insert a table, a simple table with 3 columns and 3 rows. The code would be something like this, where you begin a table environment. The H here says place the table here if place is available. Otherwise, it's up to the LaTeX software to decide. And you begin the tabular environment. Here, the two slashes say write two vertical lines, draw two vertical lines in the beginning of the table. The C here says the number of columns. C doesn't mean column, but it says center align the text in the column. You can even use left align, L for left align and R for right align. It basically says you have 3 columns here which are divided by 3 vertical lines. And the H line here says draw a horizontal line. And the next line is the content of each row. The contents of each row are divided using an ampersand symbol for each column. The first column content is serial number, the second column content is name, and the third column content is employee ID. And once you are done with the first row, give a new line command. And if you want to draw a physical horizontal line, then mention backslash h line and then start filling your table contents row by row, and then you end your tabular environment and then end table. This is a simple code for inserting the table. You can even write complex tables in a similar way. Figures, start figure environment. As we already said, insert here where the code is written if place permits. And you are saying the figure to be centered to the page. We are adding the caption to the figure, and we are adding a label. Label is the name given to the figure which you refer later for cross referencing, and you are including the figure using include graphics and end figure environment. This would be the output. You add a figure and you have a logo here. Because you have added caption, include graphics, the caption is displayed in the top. If you want the caption to be displayed at the bottom, add this caption command below the include graphics command. Generally, when we add a table of figure, we always try to refer it in the textual explanation, which is called cross referencing. Let us see how to add cross reference to figures. We have already added a label to the figure. So add label with a label name, figure name, or the reference name in figure environment. And in the text wherever you want to refer this figure, say refer to figure slash ref and the label name. This slash ref label name will be replaced by the figure number that gets generated after the list of figures. Similarly, you can even add references to the table where you give label to the table after a begin table tag, and then whenever you have to refer to the table in the text, just say ref and the table name. Similar to the figure and tables, you can also reference sections where you give labels to a section after starting a section tag and just say refer. Sometimes we also refer to the pages where the figures are. Suppose you say refer to figure 310. So how do you know what is the page that the figure would be placed? Because we do not know the output. Unlike Windows or the MS Office, we do not know on what page the figure is. So we usually use slash pageref command with the label name of the figure. So whatever page the image is inserted into, I mean the page it gets into, that number will be replaced. These are few features which makes LaTeX very feasible even for adding more text before you start adding few figures and later you come and add few more figures in the beginning. You don't have to worry about changing the figure numbers or the pages and all. Now let us see how to add a header and footer to the document. Look at the code here. We need to add fancy header package. For this, define page style as fancy. Define left side header. Give some text as your left side header and define right side header. Define the center, your footer, which should be placed in the center. And you are telling use a draw a line after the header, and you are saying draw a line before the footer of so many points width, and then you begin the document. When you see the output, you see here you have the header, left side header, and you have the right side header. Here for getting the page number, we have used slash the page command. Slash the page command will always give you the current page number. So I have used this is page 2, which gives us current page number. And then you see the ruler here, which is on the header, and you also see a ruler here on the footer, and the footer which I have placed is placed in the center. You can also move it to the left or right just by giving the command lfoot or rightfoot. Sometimes few corporate documents will have their company logo on the top of their documents in the header. To add figures in header, we use begin picture environment and include graphics in whatever part of the header we want. If it is a right header slash right header, begin picture environment, include that graphics. You see the output where the right header part is a picture now and not the text. Coming to the most important part, mathematical expressions. 90% of technical documents have mathematics in it. LaTeX gives you full set of commands to write even complex mathematical equations in a pretty simple way. Guess how easy is it to write this mathematical formula x equal to minus b plus or minus square root of b square minus 4ac by 2a. Reading itself you are tired, but writing it is very simple. It's a single line of code where x equal to fraction, which says you have numerator and a denominator to the fraction. You divide the numerator and denominator with just two braces. As the denominator is only 2a, you have the denominator here, and the numerator part minus b plus or minus square root b square minus 4ac. You see how simple it is. LaTeX allows two types of mathematical equations. One is inline mode and display mode. Inline mode equations are usually the one which go along with the text. You use just a dollar symbol to write the equation, and that gets uh, displayed as an equation along with the text. You can use just a single dollar symbol to enclose the equation, or you can use begin math or end math and tags. Display mode equations are the ones which are always placed in a new line. They don't go along with the text as inline mode. They are always placed in the new line, and they can be numbered or even unnumbered. For unnumbered display mode equations, you just have to use two dollar symbols. But for numbered equations, you have to use begin equation and end equation environment. Only when you add this environment, your equations are numbered. Otherwise, you don't get numbering to that. And you, for using this begin equation environment, you have to use package AMS math. You might ask me, how do I know what text to be used for what symbol or so? LaTeX has very good set of documentation, or it gives very good set of commands for replacing every mathematical symbol. You can Google it, or you can even just go to the reference and see, keep it side by, and then start writing your mathematical equations very easy and simple way. So now we are done with the document part. Typically, there is no technical document or research. Bibliography produces a list of references. You might see it with different names based on, but basically it is all same references. We can use either names or numbers for using references. Like you see here, this first reference is using a name or a label as a reference ID, and this is using a number. Start with bibliography environment. Each reference is a bib item here. You start a bib item. If you want to give a name to it, just give the name, and this is optional. If you don't give anything like this second item, it is numbered. If you don't want a number, if you want a name, just give that name here. But you have to give a label with this is an compulsory mandatory parameter within the curly braces. This label is what is used for referencing your bib item. If you look at the slide here, you have some text and the list of references. In the text, if you notice, you are adding some citations to the references here. You have three references and you see you are referring to the one, the LaTeX companion book, or two, three other. You are giving the reference to it. Let us see how do we add cross-referencing to the bibliography part. We use cite commands, backslash cite command for uh, referring a bib item. Whenever you are writing the text, wherever you want to refer, just say slash cite and then give the name, label name of each bib item. Earlier we were using slash ref for figure tables and all, but when it comes to the bibliography, it is not slash ref, but it is slash cite. There are multiple ways how you can manage your bibliography in LaTeX, like BibTeX, BibLaTeX, or NatBib. Whatever we have discussed till now is BibTeX. And for more options, you can just refer to the link given below. Coming to the different file formats of LaTeX, always the input file to LaTeX is .tex file, that is .tex. This is the only input file to the LaTeX. But LaTeX can give lot of output in lot of formats, that is .dvi, PostScript, PDF, HTML, or even XML. To compile a LaTeX file, we have multiple commands. For DV, to get a DVI file, you use LaTeX myfile.tex, or you do generate a direct PDF file, use PDF LaTeX and the file name. You have different formats and you can even convert between different formats using various commands. When you compile a text file, you see lot of files get generated, like .aux file, which is an auxiliary file that contains information regarding all the cross references in the document. You also get generated .toc file, which is a list of table of contents, list of tables, list of figures, and bibliography environment. These are all the intermediate files that get generated when you compile a LaTeX file. And these are the set of files which are used in generating your cross references in the final output file. When you compile text file for the first time, you may not see all the figure numbers in the output file. This is because in the first compilation, LaTeX generates all these intermediate helper files. When you compile it again for the second time, using these helper files, it gets you cross references and adds it into your final document. Throughout our presentation, we are using the words packages and class files. Let us try and understand the importance of these files. File. The default formatting in LaTeX document is determined by the class. Example, article, report, book, slides, etc. All the class files are ones with the extension of .cls. Package default look can be changed by adding new functionalities using packages, and these files are with an extension .sty. The basic rule to understand the difference between these two files is, if your file contains commands that control the look of the logical structure of a special type of the document, then it's a class. If your file add features to the features that are independent of the document type, that is can be used for any type of class like books, reports, etc., then it's a package. Example, if you want to make a thesis format of your college with your logo as the first page of it, then in that case you create a new class file and you use it for your thesis. If you are adding new commands to draw images, flowcharts, etc., then you add it as a package. Hope I'm making it clear for you. Is everyone okay?
Yes, Sudhir.
Apart from .cls and sty file, we have more files that we are used during the installation and compilation of LaTeX. Usually, we don't have to change any of these files to use LaTeX. These are only for some who wants to make new templates or packages. You need to touch them only if you are very well with LaTeX and very confident in doing it. We have very good LaTeX editors which are freely available like Mixtex, TechLive. You can also use online editors like Overleaf where you need to install LaTeX in your system. You need not install but just directly start using it. You can install any of the editors and start compiling your documents. So we are done with the basics of LaTeX. Now we know how to write a document, format it, add different things, compile and generate a PDF file. And we also know what are the different types of files and that are part of class and what that are part of package, etc. So I'm done with it. Any questions? Hello? Any questions, Anand?
Yeah, I didn't see much questions posted in the chat. So if anyone have any questions, kindly post them in the chat. So we have a question. Can we change the font style?
Yeah, the options which you mentioned in the beginning. So you can you want along with the size also. And I see some question here. Do you have any practical session? Usually when it was a physical sessions, we used to have presentation along with the hands-on session. But webinar, I'm not sure how far we can have.
Yeah.
But definitely we can plan once
Also, there are
Corona
questions like
subside.
what about font colors? Yeah.
Yeah, font so you can change.
What about the font size? I think it's the
Font
same.
size, yeah, I've told no large, huge, normal. Those are all for changing font size only.
Yeah. So how do we create a table with horizontal line? We usually use it to mention column and rows.
How do we create it? Horizontal line.
Horizontal line.
The example
Uh,
which is shown is horizontal line, right?
yes, I guess. Can you please clarify that question? We usually use it to mention. Okay, so he's asking just a line in the top left corner.
Just the line in the top left corner. H is what he says. Meant. Does he mean H here?
You can unmute yourself and ask the question yourself if you are not comfortable with the chat.
Hi ma'am, what I mentioned was like in the top left cell, what we used to mention that what's in the rows and what's in the columns. Like it's separated by a.
Yeah.
Yeah, can you please? The voice is not clear.
Hello, can you
Can
hear
you be
me?
closer to the mic?
Hello.
Yeah, tell me.
So what I asked was in the top left corner cell, we separate the cell into two sections by a horizontal line, and then we mention what is in the rows and what is in the columns. So that's a normal way of representing. We have seen that in different documents. So how put that horizontal line there? That's what I'm asking. I mean, the diagonal line in that column.
Okay. Yeah, Udaya, so what she's asking is, suppose we.
your
I think
voice
it.
is gone.
Uh, am I audible?
Yeah, tell me.
Yeah. So what? Probably I'm not sure if I'm understanding it right. So she needs to clarify that. But I think what she meant was suppose I have to slash the serial number column with a diagonal line and show something that is on the horizontal and on the vertical. So such tables will be there, right?
Yeah, I mean, come again. You want to
Yeah. So
show what?
suppose I have a table which shows a serial number in the verticals, and I have to say that whatever the top header has are features. So I'll say serial number slash features, right?
Yeah,
There
that
will be
is it.
diagonal line splitting. Yeah.
Yes, if you see, you have serial number and then 1, 2, 3 here in the first row, and you have feature name in place of one. You can write your feature name, and the
Uh,
next column would be.
no, I don't think that is so. I don't know how to put it also. Suppose can we slash a cell by diagonal lines? Can we split
Can you split a slash by diagonal line? I don't know.
a
I
cell? A
sorry.
cell.
I
Yeah. Yeah. Probably that's
maybe
what she meant.
okay.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. Uh, yeah. Exactly. I think that is what she meant.
Sorry, I'm not still clear with the question, but we can offline. Maybe she can
Yeah.
give me some examples so that I can
Sorry.
understand what I'm.
Actually, what she is asking is whether we can put serial number.
Yeah, tell me.
Yeah, actually, what she is asking is can we say what is the horizontal row represent and what row represent? That's what the doubt is.
Yeah, you
Exactly.
can have a multi-column cell also, where you can split
Yeah.
and say you can split and say like this says this and this is what it is. For that you need to add a multi-column table.
Multi-column table. No, actually, she don't require multi-column. We don't require that. We want to know whether we can represent what a cell is divided into diagonally partition, means what the vertical column represent and what the row represent, what the column represents. For
Just
example, here
deeper.
only.
Just draw a diagonal in the serial number column and say what it is, and that we have not tried. I'm not sure of it.
Yeah. So
Okay.
just to give a point there. So generally there is something called slash box. So yeah, even I'm also not very fluent with that package, but there is a package called Slashbox. I think probably you can check it out.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
How about a figure and text together in one slide, as you have done in your slides, ma'am?
This is mini page concept, which comes in the presentations. I mean, Beamer thing. Even in the text, mini page concept. You have a concept called mini page. When you add that, you can add text on one side and in image. I mean, you have image on one side and text on the other side, like you see in your textbook.
Yeah, so I've just posted a link to the answer to the question that you asked, how to split a cell diagonally. Probably you can try that out. Yeah, thank you. So okay, I am not really sure what uh, okay, what was the link about? I think Akanksha posted that link. So what is the link about?
This link is it is showing the image what she wanted. I mean, exact the division, diagonal
Okay.
division of
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
column.
So you can check the post I have just shared. So that actually shows the slash box package, how to use it. Yeah. Thank you. Do we have any other questions? If anyone have any questions, kindly post them in the chat window. We would probably have a session on LaTeX. Yeah, sure, Akanksha. Kindly post your question. So we'll probably have a session on Beamer, how to uh, prepare slides using Beamer soon. Also, so yeah, we have a question, how to insert logo on every slide in Beamer.
That actually I've already told we will cover it in another section. Actually, there is a lot. It's another 1 hour session to do presentation using LaTeX. If you see here, you have multiple options in the slides. All these can be explained, and this mini page, how to add image on one side and text on one side, and how to select the format of the presentation slides, or how to add text images on every page, as she is asking every page of the slide. That's altogether different session what we have. We will plan it soon.
Sure.
Based on your response and all, we can have one more session on explicitly how to make Beamer presentations using LaTeX.
Akansha, are you posting your question? Sure, you'll get notified on when that session will be scheduled.
Can we
Can we
have
have animation
animation
in?
in
Yeah, go ahead. No, do you want me to read?
read?
Yeah. Can we have animation in presentation like text fading, write text horizontally in LaTeX?
Yes.
And again,
These are all again Beamer features presentations. All the animations can be done even in LaTeX very well as you do in
yeah, and again, as a
PowerPoint.
continuation of that question, Akansha is asking, can we draw diagrams?
Yes, you have TechZ, TEKZ package. Usually when I do a hands-on session, I introduce a lot in hands-on session, because presentation would be only a 1 hour presentation. Including all these topics would make it very big. So when we go on with a hands-on session, I use, you can draw this text set package, including you can draw a circle, you can draw a line, you can even include flow charts, you can include, you can even draw your MSCs, flow charts, pie charts, everything using the TechZ software. You can explore TEKZ. It's a package. You can explore in Google.
So, any references for drawing graphs, ma'am? I think it is the same question.
Graph specifically, I'm not sure of the
I
package, but
think
I
it
think
is part of
TechSet
the
still,
diagrams. I mean, the same
TechSet
only.
still includes it.
Sure. Yeah, we have a request for some hands-on session next time.
Yeah, definitely. If I'm not sure how far we can do that as a webinar, but when if time permits, definitely we will do it.
Sure. Do we have any other questions?
I want to share one more hands-on session document. I'll just a minute. I'll stop this sharing and we'll share one more document. But basically, I have one hands-on document which can be shared where people can try on how to add figures and all.
Sure.
Either we
We can
can do
share it
it
with the feedback
offline.
form.
Yeah, we can do it offline.
Yeah, we can share it with the feedback form for all the participants. Do we have any more questions? Uh, okay. I guess we don't have more questions. So, Udaya,
Yeah,
I have a few generic questions for you.
yeah, tell me.
Okay. So the first one is, any tips for how to utilize the lockdown time better? As
Read
in everyone
more.
is sitting at home and kind of like spending time on different things. So, do you have any tips on how to like spend the
Basically, I
time
am
more
not
efficiently?
sitting at home. I'm going to office.
Yeah, I mean, for
But
everyone.
still, someone sitting at home, we can always start reading. Most of us will not have, but you can start as much as though you're not going to work on that topic, or you're not involved, or you're not well with the topic. Doesn't matter. Just start reading. Just keep on reading, whether it is useful to you. I mean, some knowledge you gain. That's all.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Before me going to my next question, there's a question. I mean, there's a comment. I'm new to LaTeX. How to start? Please share some links. I guess, Swarna, some links are part of the PPT that she presented, and it will be sent out to all participants. So,
Actually, Overleaf is a very good site, which is an online editor.
sure.
You can directly start writing documents using LaTeX, and it also gives a very good explanation on every topic of LaTeX that you use. You can also gain knowledge, you read, explore more, and at the same time also write the documentations. You Overleaf.com.
Yeah, and if you're an IEEE member, Overleaf, you don't even have to create an account. You can log in using IEEE single sign-on. So yeah. So we have another question. How long it will take to make a document using LaTeX? Okay.
It depends on the size of your document. But in the beginning, when you're new, you might find it little difficult to get used to the commands, what to be used, kind of thing. But once you are used to the commands, when you know if I have to start a section, you just give backslash section. Or when you are using online editors, it is pretty much easy. It shouldn't take much time because you only write the contents of the document. All the formatting is done by LaTeX software for you. So it should take very less time compared to what you write using this MS Office, because there you have to write the contents as well as even format it by yourself. So here at least you don't have that headache of formatting the document. And even the output, you see the result is very professional. I mean, you really get impressed with the kind of output when you compare from a normal document to this LaTeX one.
Yeah. So since I don't see any other questions in the chat, my next question would be, uh, what do you do in your free time apart from like coding and all the technical work and the works at home? When you get some free time, what is the one thing you would like to do?
Usually very tough question for me to answer. My kids don't let me be free at all. But even though if I get some free time, as I said, I always start reading some journals. I am subscribed to IEEE journals. So I keep getting newsletters and journals. I just try to go through them in the very short time, whatever I get.
Sure. Yeah. Thanks a lot. Then another thing I have is how did you got interested in computers and computer science, and how did you end up here?
Very basic question, which I have to go 10 years back.
Sure.
But it was not my choice. It was just I was asked to do computers. I had no other choice.
Okay. Would you like to share some experience where you actually got like, okay, this is good kind of a feeling when you were using computers?
Yes, actually, when you develop a software which can be used by somebody else really needy. See, usually in our office, we develop some web interfaces which are used by farmers. We're
Okay.
using voice or something. When you see like whatever you have written or developed is used by really an uneducated person in a very easy manner, that really impresses you. You get a feel like, okay, you're doing something for the society. Being a software or being a computer engineer, uh, you are some way helpful to the underground people. So that satisfaction keeps you going on.
Sure. Thank you. While I rotate the speaker with one more such question, if anyone have any questions, kindly post them in the chat window. My next question would be, most people I have seen who are using LaTeX are kind of perfectionists. Like, are you a perfectionist? Like you like to see things in order and everything to be in some specific order and things like that. Are you one of them?
Uh, Perfectionist, when you come to the documentation part of LaTeX, I say I'm not a perfectionist.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. That's all the questions I had. I know it's kind of like a different kind of style of questions. It's not technical at all. So if anyone have any questions, kindly post them in the chat window. Yeah, Udaya, we have another question. Yeah, so we have a question. If hello Udaya, are you with me? Hello, am I audible?
Hello?
Hello, am I audible?
Yeah, yeah. Sorry, some
Yeah,
net.
no issues.
Yeah, yeah.
So we have a question: which is better, Tech Live or MikTeX?
MikTeX has some advantage of it automatically downloads you the packages which are missing. I mean, you have a basic version of MikTeX downloaded and started using, but when you go to the advanced level, you'd see this is package is missing, then it automatically downloads you on the fly. That is what I see in MikTeX.
Okay. I'm not sure if the next question needs some clarification, but can we write any text on the picture?
You can write any text on the picture.
I think. Can you just clarify the question, Manisha? Are you there? You can even unmute yourself and ask the question yourself. Hello? Hello? Manisha, are you there?
Can we write any text on the picture?
Uh,
Usually not, because picture itself is a separate environment. It takes its own space.
sure. Probably is it like the caption she's trying to like?
Caption, yes, I have already explained. You can add it in the beginning or the end. In caption, whatever text you want, we can add.
Sure. I'm not sure if that exactly what she meant, but probably she can clarify the question when she is back online. Does anyone have any questions? Do we have any? Okay, so any reference manager for LaTeX?
What is reference manager?
Uh, Probably she's. I'm not sure if this is the right interpretation, but probably we are talking about BibTeX here.
BibTeX, oh, that creating a reference.
Correct.
Yeah, one BibTeX is one among many. As I said, you have multiple options, BibLatex or NibTeX. Usually, BibTeX or BibLatex is used. You can choose one of it. It has multiple options. I mean, whatever we discussed is BibTeX, where you can just write bibliography, and you can have also write it in a separate file. When you use these online editors, right, like Overleaf for the MikTeX, it gives you separate managers for BibTeX also. They tell you how to add in what format and what styles to be used for books. If you see my last page, in this you, for references, I have added multiple images. Like for a textbook, I can add a textbook picture, and for this, which says just a document or an article. So you have BibLatex Manager available, which you can customize the way you can add your references.
Sure. Any other questions we have? I can't see anything in the chat. If anyone wants to ask any questions, kindly post them in the chat. We are moving towards the end of the session. If anyone have any questions, kindly post them now. I guess we don't have any more questions. Any closing remarks, Udayasri?
I would ask everyone to try, even though you are new to it, just try it off. And you can always get back to us on any queries, and you have lot of Google support for LaTeX. LaTeX is an open source. When you start exploring, you see lot of material. It's not what I have explained is very little. I mean, it could be a drop in the ocean of LaTeX. But all my intention was to introduce some basics so that one can just start with it and slowly start exploring more and use it for your thesis or technical writing.
Sure. So
So
we have a
please
question.
keep exploring.
Yeah, we have a question. If Lix or LaTeX, which is the best platform to start with?
I would say LaTeX is a better platform to start with, which is easy and simple for the beginners. Start using LaTeX and then you can explore more.
Do we have any more questions? Okay, so thanks a lot, Udayasri, for joining us, taking time from your busy schedule and joining us here on this presentation. It was a great presentation, and we are really happy to have you, and we are really happy to host you. Thanks a lot for such a wonderful session. Thanks a lot, all the participants, for joining us in this session. We'll be posting a video link to our YouTube channel, which is available at bit.ly/ICSB_YT. So I'm posting the link in the chat right now.
Thank you, Anand.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, everyone. This was a part of the Celebrating Computing webinar series that has been happening for last one and a half months. More sessions are coming your way. Watch out. So if you have mentioned you want to be notified about any upcoming sessions, in the registration form, you'll be getting mails from us. Other than that, kindly follow our social media channels and follow our website and YouTube channels to get in touch with us. Also, feel free to write to me at anand.j@ieee.org if you have any questions or queries. Thanks a lot for joining us. Thank you, Udaya. The session is officially winding up.
Thank you, Anand, and thank you all for joining.